Masculinity itself is not toxic. It's not toxic. There's no such thing as toxic masculinity. There are toxic people. You can be masculine, but I don't believe there's toxic masculinity. We can give some examples, but masculinity itself is strength, it's love, it's caring, it's compassion. That's what a real man is, a real leader. Because, yo people, I'm back with another video, back in the OG, where it all started, the car fam. So I talk on the real talk, you know what I'm saying? But fam, this video, yeah, I want to talk about something that's been on my mind for a long time. But I don't know if I was the right person to make videos on this. But I thought, do you know what? You can always give a perspective, and you never know how helpful your perspective might be for another person. So basically, the topic is masculinity. And that's such a broad concept. It's such a big topic. It's so multifaceted. But in the 21st century, in the social media generation, there's so much going around. So much things about toxic masculinity, incels, Redpill, all of this stuff, you know what I'm saying? If you haven't heard the buzzwords, count yourself lucky anyway. But I want to talk about what I believe masculinity to be, true masculinity. And what is toxic masculinity, if it exists, you know what I'm saying? And the red pill and incel culture and all of this stuff, all this BuzzFeed stuff that you see on the internet, and why it's become so popular and so pervasive in modern culture. So much so that these underground communities are like on the front page of newspapers. They're talking about them on the news. You're seeing all these podcasts blowing up, all these YouTubers, all this thing. Like, why? Why is this such a thing? Why is there a pickup community? Why is there a game? Why is there a red pill? Why is there all of this? The simple thing is because real men are a dying breed. Masculinity is on the decline. We're in danger zones. That is the truth of today. And I'm not here to stipulate the reasons and the whys. There's multiple reasons. This is, you know what I mean, simple ones like people not growing up with dads, or, you know what I mean, single mother households, or growing up with weak men for fathers, which perpetuates, you know what I mean, people just not, you know what, that is actually, if you could put your hand on one thing, it'd be people not growing up with fathers. No one to teach the masculinity, and now we get into this 21st century, everyone's a bit more individualized. There's not this sense of community that there probably used to be. I don't know, I wasn't alive back then. But there's not anyone to teach, you know what I'm saying, and now society has become more, I don't know how to say it, definitely feminized, more feminized, you know what I mean? We've got the rise of feminism and whatnot. I haven't got any opinions on that right now, but just masculinity is kind of like demonized as well. And that's not even when masculinity is on the up, masculinity is on the down, and now it's demonized. So what does it create? It creates weak men. And what is a weak man, you may ask, innit? Weak man is a man who can't protect, you know what I'm saying? He can't provide. He's got no strength. He's got no anger. He's got no drive. He's fearful. That is what a weak man is. But I'm not here to beat anyone up either. More so what I want to speak on the topic of masculinity is how a man can develop his masculinity, and how, if you're a woman watching this, it's not for women, but if you're a woman watching this, how you can spot a masculine man, a true man, a real man. Because there are a lot of frauds out there. There are a lot of faux men, F-A-U-X. A lot of people parading, you know what I'm saying? Toxic masculinity is probably more so like a brute, a tyrant, you know what I mean? Although they're very masculine in nature, you know what I'm saying? High testosterone, gym guy, or like proper sports, you know what I mean? They haven't got the whole package, the ability to lead as well as have the strength, you know what I'm saying? They haven't got the balance of it. They've just got the strength and the anger, but not the compassion and the loving, you know what I'm saying? Masculinity itself is not toxic. It's not toxic. There's no such thing as toxic masculinity. There are toxic people, you can be masculine, but I don't believe there's toxic masculinity. We can give some examples, but masculinity itself is strength, it's love, it's caring, it's compassion. That's what a real man is, a real leader. Because a real leader is true masculinity, you know what I'm saying? And the best leaders, true leaders, they have strength, and they can use violence, so they earn the respect of the men, but they also have love and compassion, so they lead with that, and they're also smart. They got the intelligence to lead, because if you haven't got the intelligence, you can't be a proper leader. So it's all these kind of things. My personal rendition, or the best way that I explain in my personal life, is the Renaissance man. The Renaissance man. Who's the Renaissance man, you ask? Or what did he do? The Renaissance man, he's the well-rounded man, you know what I'm saying? The well-rounded man. He reads and he lifts, you know what I'm saying? He's got the strength and the discipline. He's strong, he can protect, but he also reads, he also earns. What does that mean? He's knowledgeable, he's wise, he can provide, he's an income earner, he hits it on multiple facets. He's not just doing one thing, he's not just getting money, he's not chasing women, he's not just pumping his body, he does everything, he hits all facets, and he's actualizing and chasing his purpose, the Renaissance man. So, if every man isn't a Renaissance man, what are they? And what are all these, you know what I mean, these incels or these players and all these, what are all these other versions of masculinities that are in this field we've got? So the best way I can describe it is let's take a situation, a common situation which most people, male or female, can either relate to or have been through, innit? So I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but let's say there's a man and a girl. Guy likes girl. Either they get together or they don't, but girl breaks guy's heart. On purpose or not, whatever. Guy's heart is broken, you know what I'm saying? If someone's heart's broken, it's broken. You can't really say whether he did on purpose. That is it. Whether guy did it to himself, besides the point, innit? So, when someone's heart breaks, or a man's heart breaks, or anyone's heart breaks, it's really because they didn't understand or they didn't really see reality for what it is, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? The fact that your heart was broken is because the way you thought life was or reality was not true. And the awakening, it was a rude awakening, caused you deep pain. And a true heartbreak you can really feel in your chest. So it's a real thing. It's not like a psychological. You can sometimes real physical pain. And that can really hurt. Your life view or whatever you had has been smashed. And the life view that most men grow up with, growing up in the 21st century, or just in general, is just I call it the Disney model. It's, you know what I'm saying? You got woman on the pedestal, man admires woman, women can do no wrong in his eyes, women are there to be protected, they're beautiful, they're priceless, they can't be touched, can do no, they're princesses. That is what, every man gets disillusioned at his own age, but that's the base of it. The pedestal, let's just call it the pedestal. You know what I'm saying? Woman on the pedestal, she's all, she's everything, his focus, his love, his muse. That is what we call it. So once his heart's breaking and he realizes, oh, maybe, women are not this soft creature that can do no wrong, and they can actually be, someone can actually be quite spiteful, quite deceiving, quite manipulative, all of these things, but we're not here to bag on women. But anyway, his heart breaks. His heart's broken. First is pain, first is sadness, first is heartbreak. Then the different stages depend on what kind of person you are. Then there's anger, there's rage, you know what I mean? Some men become angry. So they're different. I'm going to take you on different paths. So the first path we can imagine is a man who has his heartbroken. He gets really angry and he starts to demonize women. He thinks all women are like this. The pain he's been caused by a woman who, whatever she's done directly or indirectly, he can't get over it. He's angry. He's rageful. And he directs it not just to the woman who's broken his heart, but to all women. And in this 21st century, now a man like this will look for comfort, look for an echo chamber, look for someone that can relate to his pain. So now you've got these communities online, Reddit, YouTube, all of these where men are talking about this kind of thing, about the nature of women. So there's truth in some of it, and there's some of it's a bit projection, some of it's far-fetched. But a man might watch it and see his experience with like, this happened to me. And always happening to other people. This is it. Women are the devils. I hate women. You know what I'm saying? Now he's angry. And cool. That's what I would call they're calling them incels nowadays. These people in the internet, in these communities. Incel stands for involuntary celibate, but whatever, innit? But I'll just say that first is just something's happened, or maybe nothing's ever happened to you. Maybe you've just failed in your life to attract female attention. Maybe you've never been noticed by the female you actually like. And now you're angry, like, why don't women notice me? Why don't women care? Like, why is all of these things? Maybe that's what's happened. And now your initial, annoyance or frustration, better word, has become anger, because it's like, why? Why him? Why not me? Or you see, or if you're in the friend zone or whatever, you're friends with girls that you wanted to be with, and now she's telling you about this guy, and then you're not an idiot. You can see that this guy is bad, and then that guy breaks her heart, and then she cries to you, and then maybe you profess your love, and you know what I'm saying, all of these different situations. But anyway, frustration turns to anger. Anger needs, you know what I mean, emotions always want company. So you find your communities, and then you relish in them, and you know what I'm saying? You're just stuck in your rage. You're in the echo chamber of, yeah, women are evil, this, that, they're this, that. Cool. That's the first archetype we're working with. The second archetype is we can call this the pleasure seeking, the hedonist, the guy who wants to have a bit of fun, play the game, innit? His first scenario can be looked at to be the same as the first. It doesn't really matter. But he realizes, okay, there's a game going on. And I lost in the first round. It's not, maybe that's probably not exactly how he thinks of it, but it's like, okay. So this woman didn't like me, or she didn't want me, but she wants that guy. What's that guy got? Okay, maybe he's got more money. Maybe he's got better dress sense. Maybe he's better looking. Maybe he's just got a different kind of attitude, swagger. You're like, okay, I still want what I want. I want women. I want girls. I want a pattern. I want to do my thing. So he plays the game. Do you know what I'm saying? He maybe works, maybe gets money, maybe does whatever. Whoever the girls are looking at, paying attention to, whatever they're paying attention to in this 21st century, it's got to just be drip and chains and jewels and flashiness. Maybe you realize not that. He does whatever he needs to do. He gets that. And now he's like, okay, I'm in the game now. But he's not looking for love anymore, do you know what I'm saying? Maybe he was looking for love when he was a young boy. Now he just wants to in and out and get whatever off. So instead of being the heartbreak he's now the heartbreak And you know, look at that poetry. But yeah, that's the second archetype. He realizes there's a game going on. He realizes he was losing. He was a bit disillusioned. He had in love. He had the goggles on. Then his heart got broken and he realized, wow, it's not Disney, it's not all sweet. Maybe he got left, maybe he got cheated on, maybe he just couldn't attract the attention of the woman he wanted. And he realizes it's a game and he changes his strategy, okay? Maybe changes his personality, maybe changes his characteristic, maybe just leverages who he is. Because you can do this genuinely as well. You can leverage your characteristics. Maybe you can even just work hard, build a business, make money. You can become an international superstar, you know what I'm saying? All these things, you become a top echelon man. And now you attract all this attention from women, and now you're playing the game on your terms. You're getting into any relationships, you're just having your fun. That's the second. So cool. The third is what I'm talking about. The Renaissance man, the man on his purpose. Maybe he goes through the heartbreak, everyone goes through it. And he just kind of realizes, okay, he realizes what's going on. First he feels the rage, of course, everyone goes through the rage, the anger, the upset, the heartbreak. Then he realizes there's a game. He's like, okay, I played the game wrong. I had the wrong strategy. But then instead of trying to chase women or get his payback or break all the hearts, he kind of just go out and be hedonistic. He realizes he's got a purpose. And his purpose is bigger than everything. His purpose is bigger than all the material. And his purpose can manifest in different ways. It could be spiritual. It could be a calling to God. It could be a business, maybe a craft, it may be an art, something he falls in love with or he's obsessed with, he's dedicated to it. And he strives towards that. And in this pursuit, he's focused, obsessed with growth. He needs to keep growing. He needs to keep getting better. He needs to keep up-leveling himself, whether this be physically, spiritually, mentally, whatever his goal is, he can continually level himself up. And on this chase, he realizes he doesn't want to have all these multiple women. Maybe he, after growing himself and leveling himself up, he realizes, okay, I'm starting to get more attention. He's attracting it more. He's not even chasing it. He's attracting it to himself. And he's like, I can take advantage of this, but it's not what he wants to do. He's focused on the mission. He's focused on his goals. And to support his mission and his long-term vision, he's looking for the one. Not just because he's like, oh, there's the one out there, but he knows he needs a life partner, someone to help him with his dynasty, his legacy, his family. So that's what he's focused on. He's not focused on all these short-term relationships that are just empty and they're going to make him feel less than after because the person he's with doesn't really care about him. He's focused on building his long-term vision, his long-term goals, and finding a long-term partner. You know what I'm saying? So those are 3 different archetypes, you know what I mean? We've got the anger, we've got the game, the pleasure, and then we've got the purpose. So also there's obviously lows and in between different types of men, different types of masculinity. But what I'm really preaching is that every man needs to get closer to the last version. You know what I'm saying? You can be angry at women for breaking your heart or whatever, for not wanting you, not desiring you. You can have sex with a lot of girls to make up for a feeling of less or trying to get yours back or just because you like pleasure. Or you can realize in this life you have got a deeper purpose. There's a calling inside you, something that you were made to do. You're unique. You are the only version of you. There's nobody like you on earth. You exist, you're here, and there's something that you're meant to do to show the world. You know what I'm saying? That's your purpose. And you can really build a legacy. You can really have an impact on the world. And maybe you do need a life partner to do it with. Maybe you don't want to have a life partner. That's okay, but you need to understand there's a deeper calling. There's something more than all this chasing around. And when you dedicate yourself to that purpose and you're on that drive, you are naturally just on a different level. You vibrate different. You're on a higher plane. And unironically, or maybe ironically, you start to attract everything that you initially wanted. All the attention, all the friends, all the status, all starts to come. But you don't care because you're on your mission. So that's what I believe men need to do. Dedicate yourself to that. And all the things that you, the short-term things that you want, they'll come in abundance later. And then you realize you didn't even need them. So that's my advice, man. If this woman is what you want, then focus on yourself first. Because, you know what I'm saying? That's just how it works. Like, you know what I'm saying? What you chase will always escape you. But what you attract will always be there, if that makes sense. So if you're chasing something, it means it's running away from you. If you are something that, if you're a magnet and you attract things, then you know what I'm saying, you don't have to even exert effort to get what you want. It just comes to you naturally. And this is real life as well, not just in the metaphors and dynamics. Like, you can really be a person that attracts the people that you're interested into effortlessly as well. So take my word for it. Start to work on yourself. Start to build yourself, develop yourself. First start with your vision, man. You need a vision for who you want to be. What's the ideal version of yourself? Then work backwards. Start to build the hobbies, tasks, and the habits. So yeah, man. Keep working. Stay strong. Just read. And you know what I mean? Become or try to emulate the Renaissance man.